Python roadmap. Okay, so a roadmap that you can follow to start Python. Okay, so the title they will be how to start Python, okay, in more organized way. So right now we are in the age of AI. Okay, so we know very well that we can start Python from ChatGPT itself and for a lot of AI from a lot of AI tools. Okay, but there is a problem. Okay, sometimes people just start random topics which sometimes can delay the learning process, okay, or the learning curve for your journey to understand Python. So that's why I create this roadmap, okay, so that you can follow along in more organized way, okay, so that you cannot get distracted with a lot of options that are available, okay. So this Python roadmap, okay, is a very simple roadmap, okay, a very simplified way. So even me, when I was studying Python, I followed this same roadmap. So how to start Python? Okay, so usually I like to consider it in 4 steps, okay, or 4 topics or 4 branch, I will say. So first you need to start with Python basics. After Python basics, you'll go to exercise and projects. Then after exercise and project, you need to start some advanced Python topics. And after advanced Python topics, you need to set a goal for your start. Okay, so let's start from the basics. So the first thing that you need to do is to study the basic of Python. So the basic of Python you need to understand very well, because see, in most of programming language, the thing that you really need to understand properly is the basic itself, okay. So from the base you need to understand very well, okay, topics like variable and data types, okay. You need to understand what is a variable, how you can create a variable in one specific language, okay. But here we are talking about Python, okay, so that means you need to understand how to create a variable in Python, okay, how variable works in Python, and also you need to understand the data types available in Python. So after that, okay, you need to understand also the basic syntax of Python. So basic syntax of Python is something very simple, very easy to understand, okay. I think maybe in 30 minutes or maybe 5 minutes you can understand it properly, but it's very important for you to understand what is a variable and what is a data type of Python, okay, and try to understand also the syntax of Python, okay, so like how you can extract the code, how you can organize the code, how you can avoid some errors, okay. So that's why it's very important for you to understand the basics of syntax of Python, okay. And after that you will jump into conditional statements, okay. Conditional statements like some if else, okay, else if, so you need to understand how you can make some condition with Python. Then after if else you will jump into data structure, okay, so you need to understand the 3 or the 4 basics data structure that Python has, something like list, okay, and dictionaries, tuples and set, okay. You need to understand these 4 concepts, okay, these 4 data structure of Python. So if it comes to, for example, linked list, those advanced things, you don't need them. You just need to understand only list, dictionary, set and tuple, okay. So you need only to understand those 4 data structures from about Python. So then after that you need to understand also loop and function, how you can create loop, like for example how can you work with for loop, how you can work with while loop, and the function also is very important, how you can create a function so that you can start, okay, like minimizing your code in Python. So that means after that you need to start also files and exception, okay. So file management, how you can handle file in Python, how you can handle exceptions in Python, okay. Exception like some kind of error that you might get, so you need to understand them. You need to understand how you can work with files also in Python. So this is some, I will say these two is kind of extra things, okay. You don't need to spend a lot of time there, because also the concepts are very simple, very easy to understand them, but it's very important for you to study them. So let's say in Python basic you need to understand variables and data types, basic syntax, conditional statements, data structures, loops and functions, file and exceptions in Python. So when you finish with basic of Python, okay, this is where many people used to be lost, okay. They will say, oh, I know Python basic, so what shall I do now? What shall I study? What I have to do so that I can continue with my Python study, with my studies in Python. So when you finish the basic of Python, you need to do some exercise and projects, okay. So those exercises that you are going to do must be exercise that will cover all those basic things that you have studied before, okay. So and also project, okay, you will make a project from this exercise that you will do. So which kind of exercise? As I said, okay, you need to do exercise that will cover the basics of Python, this basics that you just started, and also you need to build some desktop apps. Why building desktop app? Since the desktop app nowadays is not too much famous, there are people who don't want to start how to build desktop app. See, when you start or when you learn how to build a desktop app, okay, by that process, okay, by building desktop app, you will unlock a lot of skills that is required for you to work properly with Python. Okay, so you become to know a lot of things. Okay, even you will put your knowledge in practice. Okay, so that's why it's very important for you to learn how to build a desktop app. Okay, so desktop app, I will say this at this time, it will be kind of practical exercise. Okay, like a hands-on exercise. Okay, by building some kind of app, maybe to do app is not a problem. Okay, so that's why you need to build, okay, a desktop app. So how will you build a desktop app by in Python? So in order to build a desktop app in Python, you need to learn any Python library that help you to build desktop app. So for that, Python has a lot of library that can do that, but there are 3 which I will recommend, okay, since you are a beginner. So you can start with Tkinter. Tkinter is the easiest one among of these, okay. Tkinter is the easiest one, so you can go along with Tkinter. Okay, you can start Tkinter. Maybe in one day you understand the basics of Tkinter, then you can start building some desktop app. So if you don't want Tkinter, okay, because Tkinter it has kind of old style of desktop application, but if you want more modern, okay, looking desktop application, you can go with custom Tkinter. So the advantage of studying custom Tkinter is like, if you know Tkinter, easily you can use custom Tkinter, okay, because custom Tkinter it was built, okay, on top of Tkinter. So most of commands that is writing here in Tkinter, it can easily also work in custom Tkinter. So custom Tkinter, it has more like kind of more option, okay, for you to create a looking modern application, okay, apps in Python. So that's why custom Tkinter and Tkinter is almost kind of, it's like you are studying the same thing, okay, they are kind of together. So but if you want something more modern, okay, then you can jump into Flat, okay, but Flat in this stage I will not recommend you, okay, because with Flat you can create also mobile app by using Python, desktop app, even website by using Python. So that's why I will not recommend you as a beginner, okay. I will not recommend you to start with Flat, but Flat is also a good option. It's very good option, but I will tell you first, start with Tkinter. Doesn't matter if it is old style, no problem. Start with either Tkinter or custom Tkinter. Very well, okay. You will know the basics of Python, then you will create some exercise. Oh, you'll do some exercise and projects in Python. Okay, perfect. So now this means you just cover the basic of Python. So when you finish these 2 also, now you need or you must to start some advanced Python topics. Okay, so which advanced Python topics that you need to start? So there are a lot of advanced Python topics, okay. I just list some of them. So something like, for example, regular expression in Python, lambda and decorators, object-oriented program in Python, okay, and more advanced topics, okay, which are there. But from these advanced Python topics, you don't need to start everything, okay. You don't need to start everything. Those things only you study them when you need them. It's like, okay, you are creating something, okay, but that thing, it works better with regular expression. So that means you are gonna start regular expression in Python, then you will implement it and then forget it. You don't need to memorize it, okay. It's like, okay, you are creating one app or one exercise that need to use lambda and decorator, okay, because someone said, okay, now with lambda and decorate it works better, okay. Just start out lambda and decorate works, make use of them and forget it, okay. But there is one thing, there is one exception, okay. In these advanced topics, there is one topic that is very important for you to study, which is object-oriented programming in Python, okay. You must or you need, okay, it's like a obligation, okay. You really need to start object-oriented in Python, because most of advanced things, okay, after the basics, they are built by using object-oriented program, okay. And even also they like to advise people to use object-oriented programs, okay. So that's why from this advanced topic, the only really topic that you really need to study, okay, that you cannot jump, is object-oriented programming, okay. Perfect. So when you finish object-oriented program, you need also to do exercise by using object-oriented program. So here you don't need to stress out, okay. So that means those exercise and projects that you did in the step 2, you need to do them by using object-oriented program, okay. So okay, so that you can put your skills of object-oriented program, okay, in practice, okay. So it's like you learn object-oriented program, then put it in practice by those exercises that you did by just using Python normal code like functions, something like that, now convert it into object-oriented program, okay. So that's a good way to start the things. So Now, where are we? You need to start the basics, okay? You need to do some exercise, and you need to do also some advanced Python topics, okay? But from advanced Python topics, as we said, you don't need to start everything, okay? The only thing that you really need to start is object-oriented program, okay? So the remaining things you only will start them by need, okay? You need, start, implement, and leave it, just like that. Perfect. So when you finish advanced Python topics, now you need to set a goal for your studies in Python, okay, so that you can continue in Python. This is because, see, as we know, okay, Python can be used in many fields, okay, in many places, okay. So Python is kind of like nowadays everywhere, okay. So this is how people used to get lost, okay. So they want to start everything at the same time. So that is a big mistake. You need to set your goals for your studies. So that's why, okay, as we know, Python can be used in data science, in machine learning, AI. Python can be used for web development. Python can be used for data processing and analysis. Python can be used in hardware, sensors, robots. Python can be used for work automation, software tests. So Python can be used for a lot of stuff. Okay, so which means there is a lot of stuff that you will need to start. So that's why I'm saying don't do this mistake. Okay, don't start everything. Set your goals. Okay. So which means if you want to use Python for data science, okay, study only everything which is related to data science. Forget others, okay? If you want to start machine learning and AI, you start everything which is related to machine learning and AI in Python and forget others, okay? But we know that data science, machine learning and AI, this kind of work together, okay? And if you want to use Python for web development, okay, now you need to start everything which is related to Python for web development, okay? So for web development, we know that if you want to start use Python for web development, then that means you need to give a little stop and you need to start again HTMLS, so HTMLS doesn't exist, okay? HTML, CSS, and a little bit of JavaScript, okay? Because you'll need them, just a little bit. You need to start full JavaScript, not only the basic of JavaScript, so that you can understand, because web development without JavaScript is kind of impossible, okay? It will be there. Maybe if you just for closing the web page, JavaScript will be there. So that's why you need to understand JavaScript a little bit, okay? Just a small, okay? Just the basic of JavaScript. So if you want to use Python for data processing and analysis, okay, you need to start libraries like Matplotlib, Pandas, so a lot of stuff. Okay, so it's like you need to set your goal, you need to write your stats, okay? Don't start everything at the same time, okay? Because see, there's this kind of secret, okay? If you dominate one of these, easily you can jump into others. For example, if you dominate data science, okay, easily you can use things for machine learning, AI, you can use things for data processing and analysis, okay? Because even those things also, data processing and analysis, even machine learning and AI, somehow they are inside of data science, okay? So that's why just master one. With that one, easily you can jump into others, okay? For web development also, there is a lot of options that you can start. You can start either Django, you can start either Flask, or you can start with Fast API, okay? But I will advise you just start with Django, because since Django is more complex, is more big. If you understand Django, easily you can understand Flask, easily you can understand Fast API. So that's why it's very important for you to set your goals so that you cannot get lost, okay? Because Python is huge and there is a lot of options that you can use for Python, okay? So that's why it's very important for you to set your goal, okay? So guys, this is the Python roadmap that I create, okay? That I really think it's very easy for you to follow to understand Python, to start Python. Start with the basics, do some exercise in project, advanced Python, start some advanced Python topics, advanced Python topics, don't start everything, only start object-oriented program, okay? The remaining, just start them by need. If you need, start it, use it, leave it. Easy, okay? Then set a goal for your studies, okay? Where do you want to use Python, okay? Area for data science, machine learning, web development, data processing, analysis, hardware, sensor, robots, for automation. So it depends on you, but set your goal is very important. If you don't set your goal, you'll be lost, okay? For example, me, I start Python, okay? But when I set my goal, okay, and I decided that now I'll be use Python for teaching people how to learn Python, okay? How to use Python. So me, I have passion in teaching, me, I have passion in sharing my knowledge. So that's why for me, it's very important for me to understand at least the basic for data science, machine learning, web development, data processing. Like for me, it's really important to understand the basic of everything, okay? Since I teach, since I share knowledge, so that's why I need to start everything, okay, the basic of everything, so that I can be able to share my knowledge, okay? So this is my goal which I set, interested. Okay, so I said no, I want to teach, I want to share my knowledge with people. So that's why my goal is I need to understand everything the best. But you, if you don't want to teach people, you just want to use Python or for work or for something just for fun, you need really to set your goal. Okay, set your goal, start that thing, and keep moving on. Okay, because if you master one of these guys, easily you can jump into another one. Okay, so guys, this is the Python roadmap. My name is João. If you like the video, please subscribe to the channel, give a like, and see you. Bye bye.